the coronavirus pandemic has taken the lives of many and destabilized the life of others. We are finally seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. Welcome to the show. I am Yukiria Olaniyo. Welcome, guys. Now, 2020 has been a really funny year because of the coronavirus pandemic. How has it been for you?
I think everybody is just, taking a time out, hoping to survive and get past the coronavirus year, aka 2020, and then hopefully next year we'll just get on to better things.
Started on a sad note, because I was thinking, this year we're going to achieve so many things, you understand? Then COVID struck. But then this year literally is, man proposes and God disposes. But we're thankful regardless.
And we'll continue to keep hope alive
Of course.
regardless. And so far in Nigeria, the numbers have been dropping. The numbers of those testing positive has been dropping. Some weeks back, or some few days back, a renowned pastor actually said that the numbers have been dropping because churches have been reopened. Do you agree with him?
With all due respect to the revered man of God, I think that statement cannot be scientifically backed up, basically. So, what we have actually is a case of probably Nigerians being more in tune to the virus. So, they kind of like understand the ways and measures with which they can prevent themselves from actually, contacting the virus. And then also, there have been reports that some states and centers have been under testing and under reporting cases of the coronavirus. So, that's not too good, but hopefully that's not the case.
Of course, Nigerians are like 90% of Nigerians are very, very religious. But just like Nick said, I think we just, came to terms with living with the virus and, observing all precautionary measures.
Yeah.
We are gradually seeing an ease of lockdown from churches have reopened, with some school, the final students of some schools were allowed to go take their
Secondary school
examinations.
students.
Cinemas, markets are no longer on the timetable because previously markets were told to open Mondays, Wednesday, and Saturdays, but now they are opening all through the week. So now the schools, the main discussion now is schools. People are clamoring for schools to resume. Do you agree? Do you think the federal government will listen to the people and let students back in schools, both secondary and tertiary?
The fact that people are beginning to resume in full in other places, there's just this temptation that we would like to have our children, go back to schools, basically. But we need to handle this very carefully because we've seen from reports reaching us from, especially from America, that whereby schools have been reopened. There's been a rapid jump. Yeah, there's been a rapid jump in the infections in children and teenagers, basically. And then especially if we now take Nigeria as a case study where we have classes and groups of students numbering about 500. Take for example Obafemi University, where we have English students numbering about 550 in a class. It's just a nucleus for the virus to spread just within a very short time. So I don't think right now is the best time for schools to reopen.
But many parents have resumed work, but so far their children are still at home. Others primary school, secondary school, and those in the university. So I know the federal government is trying their best to try to play safe. Okay, let's not just open, say schools resumed and the numbers go high, but let's also think about the students. They have their term year that has been destabilized, and apart from the fact that strike was on before, now the students they are tired of sitting at home doing nothing.
But then there are some basic, things to put in place. Like aside from the parents being tired of their children at home and all of that, we need to know if the government are actually ready. Like, are there any mapped out plans for reopening of schools? How are we sure that when the students get back in school, they will be able to abide by all COVID rules? What about the lecturers? Are they psychologically ready to receive students back in school? And all of that.
Going by the lecturer statement you made, it's good to see actually that ASU themselves have come out to say that the amenities and facilities in most of these federal government institutions are not up to speed, especially as regards the coronavirus pandemic, basically. So I think it's just something that we really need to look into, and then hopefully this is an opportunity for us to start to explore online education, online teaching
Virtual
a little
learning.
bit, a little bit more than what we used to have prior.
Yeah, and the lecturers, most of them, their ages
Over
are
40,
over 40, and they are
literally
the
putting them
risk,
at a
at
very
a
big
higher
risk.
risk. Yes, you're right. This brings us to the end of today's discussion. Don't forget, because you're below 30 doesn't mean you cannot infect those around you. Remember to wash your hands, social distance, wear your face mask, and avoid crowded areas.
Did you know you can actually influence our next topic of discussion? Send in your topics. My name is Princess Eunice. Have a lovely week.
We would like to hear from you. So hit us up on our social media platforms. If you enjoyed this program, hit the like button and subscribe to Circle TV. I'm Nicholas Additional. You have a lovely week.
And I'm Eukaria Olaniyan.